Lionel Goldsworthy may not be the most famous of bushwalkers, but he must be amongst the strangest and heaviest. His last walk from Dalby to the Bunya Mountains and back was a weight-reducing exercise to get below 20 stone. It was a walk that he tackled in his own inimitable style. Peter Ware met Lionel on a track winding back to Dalby.
Well, I got to the stage of fitness where I was really flat out walking between leaning posts, you know. I'd spend all my time leaning on something.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine suggested to me that, righto, well, you should really throw away the car and go and do a bit of exercise. And I'm a bit of a deep-end man. I can't do things gradually. I can't take a walk around the block followed by a bigger walk around the block. So I decided to toss myself off the deep end and go for a proper walk, you know.
Lionel Goldsworthy's proper walk took him and his dog, Albert Einstein, from their home in Dalby to the Bunyas, through the hills and valleys and back to Dalby, 140 kilometres. Lionel's a part-time maths tutor. Albert's part cattle dog, part Pekingese. And the cart, well, it's got a bit of everything.
Could you give us a bit of a rundown of what you were carrying with you and perhaps why you were carrying it? What's on top here?
Well, the good gear, trumpet, clarinet, and sort of pull it out every so often and have a bit of a blow, you know, and seize the boredom. And then we got pillow.
Right.
That's more or less to keep dogs' vomit off it, and a bit of dust and so on. Nothing worse than breathing dust when you're trying to sleep.
What, did the dog get a bit cart-sick on occasion, did it?
Twice. It
Twice?
Hopped up on there and sicked all over the place, yeah.
What have you got under here?
That's the dog's mat.
The blue one here?
Yes, that's his little mat. I had an arrangement underneath the cart for him when he wasn't trying to pinch the tent off me.
Right.
And
the weapon? Why the weapon?
Oh, that's more or less for show, you know. Things happen to people along the road, and I don't particularly want to shoot anybody, and I never carry any bullets in it, but...
Sort of a bodgy scarer.
It is, yes. If it's there and they see it, they think twice, I think. That's the theory.
Now, the container here...
Well, you put Coca-Cola in that and peanuts and anything else, you know, that's valuable and you want easily accessible.
It keeps them cool, I suppose.
Well, you leave the things out at night,
yeah.
And they get cool during the day, then they're cool all day for you.
OK, and round the front, pretty easily recognisable.
Well, yes, the billy and the mug. And up here's the water supply. I had a couple of containers with water in them, one with just a gallon tin, another one that lasts about 2 days. And inside the tent and food, bulk stuff, you know, sleeping bag, ground sheet and all that sort of thing.
Everything on Lionel's cart has a purpose. The trumpet soothes Lionel's soul, and the clarinet settles Albert's stomach.
Come here. Sit down. I suffered very badly from chafe, and the first pair of boots I set out with, I didn't bother wearing any socks with them. I thought I'll just have these loose-fitting boots on, you know. That was a bit of a rude shock. 3 miles later I was blistered to the hilt, and I ended up getting a decent pair of boots, and they put me wise to it. A few of the blokes around there said, keep your feet dry, you know, make sure you wear big thick socks and so on. And that cured all that. That was good. A couple of times along the road, you know, I just didn't know what to expect of the public. I mean, I suppose if I had a few beers under the belt and I came past some sort of a weird contraption, the thought had crossed my mind of tossing a can at him or something like this. I didn't know whether that would happen to me, you know, but it's quite the opposite. the only people that pulled up to talk to me were people genuinely interested in what I was doing. There's one fellow, a Mr. Stuart Hopper, who lives up near Karanga North, who happened by while I was camped and parked his car in the middle of the road like all good country people do, you know, and sort of says, "Over here." And over I went and had a bit of a yarn to him, only to find out that this man writes songs, you know. And so I went up to his place the next day, and I spent a whole day there, and we got out his tape recorder and some of the words of his songs and so on. And I got the clarinet and trumpet out and sort of recorded the music part for him, you know. Oh, it was a great experience, yeah.
Not the thing that punctuates most rural walks for people.
No, you wouldn't expect it in a million years. And
would you recommend that other people do what you've done?
Put it this way, look, there's Dalby, there's the Gold Coast. Now, you watch Dalby people's lives, they go zot, 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 in little pimples all over Dalby, and then all of a sudden, zot, down to the Gold Coast, then back again, and zot, 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 and that's how they go on all their lives. You know? Now, I think that's madness, to do that. Well, your brain's capable of so much more. You can take in so many more things, you know, just a cubic inch of soil is just jam-packed with mysteries and wonders and life and things crawling around, planning attacks and living and dying and so on. And, you know, if you were to read up on what some of those little fellas do, you wouldn't think yourself so clever afterwards, you know. And I think people ought to broaden their outlook a little bit and not be afraid to go and take a big long walk. I mean, I'm basically lazy too. I like the thrill of things. But I should go on more walks. But for anyone who's really frightened of having a go at this, I'd say group together with a few of your friends and just do it. You know, you've got to take that first step and put a bit of gear together. You know, this is an old wheelchair and an old tin trunk and a bit of pipe welded together. And it doesn't have to be that. One of my friends is very interested in doing a push bike tour. And I'd recommend that, you know, anyone who's got any inkling at all that they'd like to broaden their outlook a little, just forget the city, forget the suburbs and go. It's my advice.
As the man said, it takes all kinds to make a world. It was Peter Ware talking with Lionel Goldsworthy on the track near Dalby. We'll be back with you in just a moment.